it's Wendy. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is my end of the month what have I coloured in May video. So I've not done too bad for me. I've got a few books to show. I'm gonna hopefully try and whiz through them. I'm gonna do the ones that you've kind of seen bits of first, but let's make a bit of room if I don't manage to knock my pile of stuff over in the process. So yeah, this one obviously you've seen, well, you may have seen a little bit on the channel already this month because I've shown it a few times, but R.J. Hampson's Dragon Dreams. And if you've watched my colour along, you'll have noticed that I have two that I've been working on in here. So my first one in this book that I got through this month is this one, The Tiny Hunter. I don't think I've ever coloured a dragon in before I'd done this one. So yeah, I kind of got this book and thought, oh yeah, I really like it. And then actually when it came to colouring it, I was kind of like, oh, I don't actually think I've ever coloured a dragon. Maybe I need to think about this a little bit more. But yeah, I quite enjoyed doing him. I kind of played it safe really with him really. So background is gelatos. Dragon was luminance. And then for a change, I got my Black Widows out. So the ring is Black Widows, and all the flower work is Black Widows, and the bees and the butterflies are all Black Widows as well. And I think that's it really. I don't think there was anything else. It's just literally colour pencil work and some gelatos in him. And then obviously I'm halfway through doing a colour along with this little chappie that I shared with you earlier on in the week. So he's all light fast, and again gelato's background because I'm kind of doing these two the same. Let's see, he's spring. But yeah, there's my 1.5, one WIP, one finished out of Dragon Dreams by R.J. Hampson. Then the other one that you might have seen if you'd watched my last kind of haul was this one pop up. I hadn't quite finished it when I showed it on my haul, talking about the pencils that I've used. So Fairy Celebrations, Clara Markova. So this was a new book to me last month. So this is the first page that I've done in this one. So I tried out my Derwent artists on this page. And yeah, they are hard, I think is the long and the short of them. Some of them I really like. There were some really nice colours, and some of them are definitely softer than others. The greens were really, really hard. I did all the leaf work on this page in the Derwent greens, but I have to be honest and say this background kind of limey looking green is a Holbein, because I could not face, there's quite a lot of green backgrounds in this pieces, and I really couldn't face all that space in a hard Derwent artist. I think my hands would have been complaining quite significantly. So yeah, the background I did cheat and use a Holbein, even though when I started this I thought, no, I'm just going to use the artist. And then a little bit of sparkle, as you can just about make out when I move it, on the little wings that I think was one of these excuse my arm, one of these Nouveau, I can never remember what these are called, Aqua Shimmer and Blush Rosette, I think is the one I've used. I think it was one of those. I've got a few of those Nouveau shimmer things that are very similar to the Spectrum Noir ones. There's a few different types of those things, but I think that's the only little bit of sparkle. I think there might be a bit of Sakura black glaze in the eyes. Yeah, you can just about see it there, can't you? It's a little bit of sheen. So I think the black is the heavy black and the black Sakura glaze, because it is great for getting the eyes really deep and dark, isn't it? But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I think what I'll probably do with my artist is figure out which of the pencils I think I'll use the most and maybe add them to some other set. The greens I'm not sure will be being added because some of those were rock solid, but they do layer beautifully and you really can build up some really interesting tones. But it was a bit of a learning curve, and I might try them on some different papers, because this is well, it's quite a smooth paper in Clara Markova's books, so with a hard pencil, I'm guessing they probably would want a bit more tooth, so I might try them in something a bit more toothy at some point and see if it changes how I feel about them. But yeah, it was my first page in Clara Markova's Fairy Celebrations. And then another one that you saw a glimpse of this month was in my Magical Fairies colouring book. So I've finished this one now. Where is it gone? There is it gone. So yeah, I did my Magical Fairy. And it was a bit of a battle this week. I don't know why I found this page difficult to work through, but I have. Her dress and her leafy kind of decoration on it I'd done before you saw it. I think I was working on the flowers when I was talking through Dan's birthday tag. But yeah, I found this page quite difficult to work through. Her hair has these really fine, and it's obviously quite small sections in it that is quite annoying to work in. And then it's got this quite strange stripy background behind, quite a realistic figure. So yeah, I found I've had a bit of a battle to make myself finish this, really. I was determined to finish it because it had been a WIP for a while, this page, and I just thought, no, I want it finished, I want it done. But yeah, it's been a bit of a fight, I can't lie. I based this in Tombow brush pen to begin with. Her skirt and all of this section around here was in Luminance, unsurprisingly for me. This shiny background that you can see, this yellow kind of sparkle, was one of my Cosmic Shimmer Lunar pastes that I've not had very long, and it was okay to use, and I thought it'd dry it quite lumpy, and I think it kind of looks lumpy when I'm looking at it on the camera, but when you actually touch it, it's actually quite a smooth finish on it. I'm quite surprised by it as a product. Looking at it, I wonder whether a second coat of it would be better, because you can kind of see where the glitter particles are in it quite a lot, can't you? And so I wonder if a second coat would be even that kind of glimmer out a little bit. And I think I've used a little bit of dual hybrids. Yeah, how you can see it in the hair, look there. A bit of dual hybrids over some of the black line work and in some of the flower centres as well, just to finish her off. And that's my only page in this book. There's some lovely bits in here, but now I'm looking at it, I'm kind of seeing lots of similar hairs, and I don't know why, but I really did not enjoy doing her hair on her. But there are some lovely pages, and it is a lovely book. For Magical Fairies colouring book is Marjorie Sarnat 1 by Creative Haven. And then we're up to stuff that I haven't shown you. So back to an old favourite. This is a buddy colour with Pixie's projects. My mind went totally blank then, sorry Pixie. So do head over to her lovely Instagram and her YouTube to have a look at her version of it. I'm filming this a little bit early, so I'm not expecting she will have sent me a picture of hers yet, but if it does pop up, I shall try and pop it in. I have no idea how to pop it in this video, but I might try and add it in here next to it at some point so you can see it if I do get a picture in time before. But I have been working on this page, and I've really quite enjoyed this page. It was a little bit of a battle. I don't think I've actually tried to tackle a kind of glass item before. I've been kind of avoiding them quite a lot in my Hannah Carlson's books. I've done quite a few pages in some of Hannah Carlson, but as soon as I get to a magical jar looking page, I've chickened out. So when Pixie said she quite fancied doing a buddy colour in this, I was kind of like, maybe I'll push myself to do the jar, and this will make me want to do it because lovely Pixie's doing it as well. So I'll have to do it. It can't be avoided. But yeah, I've quite enjoyed it. It's been quite a challenge, to say the least. And it's taken me quite a while. I think the sky is all in Holbein, and I think that did take me quite a few layers. I think there's a bit of Prismacolor in this, a bit of Luminance, lots of things really. you can probably see there's quite a bit of gel pen here and there, just to get rid of some of the black out of it, particularly in the kind of wispy clouds and bits and pieces like that. But I've really enjoyed this page. I really wanted to do the sky. It was been calling to me for a while, and I know quite a few YouTubers have had a go at this page, and every time I see somebody else do it, I think, oh, I do want to have a go at it. But there was little bits that I really wasn't sure about, like the smoke. I wasn't sure whether it was coming from behind the jar or whether it was in the jar. I've made it go like it's kind of coming from inside. I don't know if that's how the drawing is supposed to be or not, but that's what I've done. And it did take quite a while, because like I say, I've been working on the background quite a while, and I've not really done this kind of nebulary looking kind of sky before, so there's been quite a bit of learning curve on this page, really. With the glass, I don't think the glass is perfect. It's okay. I quite like the little scene inside. I think that's quite cute. And I quite like how the firefly that's in there is kind of like it's the sun for this little scene that's inside the jar. I think there's some clever things in this drawing that you don't really notice when you just look at it as a drawing, but when you start to actually colour it and think about what you're doing, you suddenly realise how things are starting to work. It's been a tricky one, but yeah, I've really quite enjoyed it. But yeah, that's my firefly page. The lovely R.J. Hampson's Night Garden book. So I think I'm 3 down in Night Garden now. I'm 4 down. No, 3 down, I think. I think that's my 3rd one. And then another experimental page. We'll go down a little bit with my camera. Sorry, I'm shaking you. I have a few Lulume books. I think I'm going to say 3. Let me look on the shelf. Animals, mermaids. Yeah, I think this is the 3rd one I have. And I know there's a lovely new one out. I've banned myself from buying it because I have 3 and I hadn't completed a page in them. I've got bits and pieces that I've started in a few of them, but nothing finished. So I'm like, no, you cannot have any more of these books till you've worked in the ones you've got significantly. So I know everybody's doing loads of things in the Sweet Things book, or the Kawaii one. I think it's called different title in America. No idea why. But yeah, so I thought I would do one. And whilst I was also working on this book that I don't seem to be able to make myself work in, I'd also bought some of the Bambino crayons, because I thought, right, okay, I'm not working in these books. I can see lots of people have been using the crayons in this book, so maybe that's the answer. Maybe they'll work for me. So all of the inside bit in here is only Bambino crayons, nothing else. I've used no additions inside at all. And yeah, it was quite hard work actually to use them. Well, as you can probably see, I've got quite long fingers, and they are quite small, little, tiny, thin crayons. And the paper in this book is quite smooth, and they lay down quite lightly on smooth paper, I realise, as I've worked on this. But the main issue is obviously the actual colours that you've got. I've got the 24 pack, and there's a lot of greenery in this page, and there's 2 greens. There's 2 greens in there, so you very quickly are like, okay, all my greens are going to look exactly the same unless I really think about this really carefully. So there's been a lot of layering blues over greens, yellows over greens, orange over greens occasionally, to try and give myself a few different looks in some of the green work in particular. I think they're really nice for a soft background, and I think I might use them quite a bit for little backgrounds where you want to just get some soft colour down behind. I did notice when I tried it on a bit of cartridge paper that has a bit more tooth that they did lay down much darker on that kind of paper, so that I was finding a bit of a battle, that you can't get really heavy dark marks. Like, I really wanted the red to be a lot stronger than I've got it, but as you can see, it's still quite light red really for me. Normally I do colour quite in your face, maybe a bit in your face sometimes, but I did want to leave just one completely just the crayons, just to see what I could do really and how it would work. But yeah, I still got a bit of texture into the kind of owl creature thing with legs. I don't know what he is. He's an owl head, cat leg type. I don't know. Whatever that thing is there. He's got some bit of feathery texture in him. And then the background is one of my Cosmic Shimmer opal polishes. I can't remember what colour it is actually. Have I got it to hand? Oh, not that one. Not that one. That's not going to have. Oh, this one. What colour is it? Summer Sky opal polish. So it's this one. It's a tricky product to put on paper where you've got little fiddly leaves to get round, because it kind of, well, as you can see, it kind of resists being used with a brush. I think it's really for kind of working over textured as a highlighter. So it doesn't love going on flat paper, and certainly doesn't love going on round little bits and pieces like that. But it does dry to such a beautifully smooth finish, and the glow of it is really beautiful. So I just thought it would be really nice and enhance what I'd done on there. Hopefully I shall persuade myself to do some more in some of my little Lulume books, because they are cute books. I don't know. I think when I look through them, I always think, yeah, they're so cute. They've got lovely little drawings in them. But they just don't call to me somehow. As I look through the shelf, they're not one that I go, oh yeah, I really must work in that one. Yeah, they just... Sorry, I have to move you up a little bit. Oh, don't go wobbly. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to try and persuade myself to work in them a bit more, because I need to. Anyway, next one, Starry Night Special. I, as you've probably noticed, really like this book. And this month I did this one, which I think is Celestial Rose. Yeah, I'm just enjoying working in these. I really like them. They're really... I've got my luminance list on the side that we don't really need to see, do we? But I really enjoy working on these pages. I think because you've got a little bit blacked in, it doesn't feel like this, although it's an A4 size, it doesn't feel like it's a huge page to do, even though it is quite a big page really. I based this in marker first, so I think I've based pretty much all her skin. I have a feeling I based the flowers. Did I? Yes, I did. Look, all those things I basted. And then worked over with luminance over into the hair, into the flowers. I think I also used what are they called, those pens? Sorry, I have to reach. Can I reach one? These things, but not this colour. What are they called? Oh, pip pens. Couldn't think of the name. Sorry. Yeah, pip pens inside some of the flower heads. Just to do a little bit darker in some sections, because I wanted it to kind of be the same weighting as her hair. Nouveau glitter pens in the border and on her eye makeup. I think there's a bit of green that's not catching. Oh, there you go. You can just see, well, I can see the shine of the wax of my pencils, and a little bit of the glitter in the border and on her eyes as well. But yeah, really enjoyed working on this one. I was a bit unsure about what was going on here when I looked at the drawing, so I've kind of made it look like she's wearing some fancy lacy dress. I'm hoping that was what we should be going for. So I've got 2 left to do in here. I've got her to do that is a good size A4, and this one's a little bit small, I think, and I quite fancy doing the kind of Alice in Wonderland themed one as well. I might give this one a go as well. The others in here, they feel very small, don't they? Some of the details in here are tiny, so tiny. I kind of want to get these copied onto 12 by 12. I think they'd work better as a 12 by 12 image. Then you could actually get into some of these tiny little, look how small they are. It's actually crazy how small some of the detail is on this book. And in her earrings, how is it possible to colour even inside those? So I'm very tempted to get a good chunk of this book copied much bigger. But anyway, going on. My page in Starry Night Special by Wishan Ong. beautiful drawings though. I do really love them. Then we're on to my Cocoa Wire book, Beauties in Fairyland, or as I'm commonly calling it, Beauties on Toilet Paper. I know, I should shut up. I know I should. Moaning on about it. I just can't help myself. However, I do love the images, and this took me so long. Even my husband was how long is that picture taking you? You're never going to finish it. I honestly don't know why it's taken me so long, but it has. It's taken me what felt like, I think it was pretty much a full weekend and the whole week still working on it. Face, neck, ear were based in alcohol. I did do some tonal work in alcohol markers as well. Then I've worked my luminance over. Really shouldn't be using luminance on this page, but I love using them, and yeah, I can't make myself not do, really. So yeah, that was all her face, and then yeah, pretty much all of this kind of butterfly, flower, berries, leaves, all of this was again a good chunk of Holbein actually. A lot of these pinks and purples are Holbein, but with some luminance mixed in here and there, normally for the darker shades. And there's just a lot of layering of colours really on this piece, so there's obviously a lot of multiple layers to kind of give the impressions in some of the sections. And I really have loved doing this page, and I think I did just use some of the King Art gel crayons just to finish the background, because I didn't really want the background being anything much really, because let's be honest, she's pretty busy herself, isn't she? She doesn't really need any background to work against. So yeah, I just did a bit of gel crayon after I'd finished, really, just to finish it off, because I've got so busy working out all of these things. But yeah, I really enjoyed working all of these wings and things like this, and obviously did take a bit of inspiration in terms of colour palette from what was going on the front, but I've kind of changed it a little bit because I like a bit of colour. I do like a bit of colour. But yeah, if you've got one of these books, I did notice that fortunately, because I'd done a bit of alcohol basting, I had put a piece of paper in behind, but I left it there when I was still working with colour pencil, and I did notice a huge amount of this toner had gone onto that piece of paper that I had behind. So if you're going to work in one of these books with colour pencil, and like me, I do press on fairly hard when I'm layering and blending, just be aware that this print will come off onto the page behind. I'm so relieved I'd put, particularly because it's a lot of skin there as well. I've got kind of massive great big black bits all over skin. That would have been quite annoying. So if you are working in these Cocoa Wire books, do try and put another bit of paper in there. But yeah, that's my first one in my very nice Beauties in Fairyland drawings by Cocoa Wire. Then another one that took me so long. Why did I pick this page? I do not know, because I'm crazy. Alice's Little Wonderland. This is a beautiful book. I really love this book. Illustrations by Francesca Rossa. I think this is her only book. I've had a look online as well. I think she does lots of illustrations for lots of children's books and those kind of things, but this is her only coloured book, and I stupidly decided that I would do, as the first page in this book, this massive page that has a lot of things going on. So lovely Alice is here at the top, but obviously there is a great deal of details. Giant carrots underneath the lounge. It seems a bit strange, but what do I know? But yeah, so much bits and pieces in this page that's taken me, again, a long time. I think it was quicker than I thought it would be. I don't know what it was about this page. It just wanted to do it. So it's mainly Holbeins with the odd bit of luminance, unsurprisingly. It's got some watercolour on it, some of my Renaissance watercolour, although sadly I don't know if it's this paper in this book, but it has been coming off in this book, which I'm a bit sad about really, because I love her watercolours I'm going to try them on something else, but as you can see down the bottom here, look, that one's pretty much come off completely there. I'm going to have to put another coat on that section, and I've kind of put it on the wallpaper here as well, but oh yeah, you can see it from that angle. There's quite a bit of it on the wallpaper, but there are bits that, again, have started just to flake off a little bit in some sections. So I'm going to put a second coat on, because I was kind of working over it and I may have rubbed it off with my hand, but I've never noticed their paints come off before, so I'm just wondering whether it's the paper, that it's just somehow it's not able to grab to it. But I think this glittery one that I did by my golden chest in the corner was the orb one out of the Crown Jewels sets, and then this was one of the golds that was in that set as well. I can't think what it's called off the top of my head. But apart from that, I think there's the odd little bit of acrylic paint here and there just to touch up some of the line work that I didn't want to see too much of. But yeah, I've really enjoyed working on this page. And like I say, it was quicker than I thought it'd be once I've got on. Oh, I think I did base this Inktense first, actually. Yeah, I did, because I can see it now. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I did base some of this in Inktense first, and then I went back over with the Holbein and bits of my Prisma, just to speed it up a bit, because otherwise it'd take me forever. But I think this did take a full week and weekend, if I'm honest, as well. It was another big one, really. But I really enjoyed doing it, and considering I've got this paper wet, it's kind of, it's not too badly. It's a little bit wrinkled. I think that side seemed to wrinkle worse than this side. This side's pretty much okay. It's all right on the other side. So yeah, so that was my page in Alice's Little Wonderland by Francesca Rossi. Does seem to be available if you want to find it. I think I've noticed it on a couple of sites since I got it off the Book Access page. Then another first for me, so Fairy Touch of Magic by Clara Markova. We'll just bring you in a little bit, I think. Sorry, we've gone skew with again, haven't we? I'll move down. First page in this for me, because this was a new book again last month, and this is Pro Colour. In the main, most of it, and Derwent Drawing, because again we've got kind of earthy tones, so I always kind of jump for my drawings if you've got kind of muddy, earthy, woody, natural things, really, because Derwent Drawing are just the ideal palette for something like that, and they work really well with the pro colours, so I've done pro colours with it as well. Background, I think there is a bit of Prisma, just because it's a lot quicker with Prisma to build a background up. I've used some of my deco brush, ouch my knee, sorry, just kicked the drawer underneath. I've used some of my deco brush acrylic pens and a bit of dual hybrid, although I don't think there's much dual hybrid. Can't even remember myself. Oh yeah, a little bit on this kind of biscuit holder present thing, and on the balloon. A little bit on there. But yeah, another one. These books just make me smile. They bring me joy. They're daft, silly, but lovely images. I don't think I'd done a daffodil before this either. Not something I'd tried to colour, so I think I'm semi-pleased with them. They're not perfect, but they're okay. So yeah, my first page in Fairy Touch of Magic by Clara Markova. Then I've got one more finished one, and then I've got a WIP. So another book that I think is lovely. I don't know how I've got marks all over the front of it though. Maria Traldrum Rees. I've done not enough work in this book, but this month I've worked on this page, and I've really enjoyed this page, really. It's got all the mixtures, things I love, really. I like doing leaves. I like a forest scene anyway. I love the odd flower here and there. You've got some little creatures in there. Mushrooms, total favourite. I love colouring mushrooms. Don't know why, just really do. So they've got all my little favourites that I enjoy doing. And this was quite an interesting page, because I've kind of done, there's a very similar page in this book that I'd done before further up. Did I mark it? No, I didn't. This was one of my very early colourings, and I know that because it's in Polychromos. Polychromos texture. Hate it. I just hate that. You still see the paper texture thing, I'm guessing if I used a blender or something I could make it better now. I didn't have anything like that when I was first working on this page, but obviously this is a very similar page in terms of a lot of the structure and what's there. And it was just quite interesting for me to see the kind of difference between before and after. Pencils that I enjoy, pencils that I hate. And this kind of sums up why I don't enjoy them, really. I just don't like the colour palette. I don't know what it is about it. I just prefer this warmer palette that somehow I just can't seem to get out of my polychromos. Clearly it's me. I'm doing something that doesn't suit them, but yeah, either way, I prefer the second version in this book. And I have really enjoyed working on these. Although I find these little tiny characters really quite tricky because they're so small. You can barely get a little pencil into them, really. But yeah, I have enjoyed working on my little page out of Marie Troll and her beautiful book. So Marie Troll, Drumreese. And then I've got a WIP in progress. I've not done very much in this one, so this won't take me very long at all. But I've started with this. The paper in these Pictura books, can't recommend enough. It's really beautiful quality paper. But I've started in Wayne Anderson's Enchanted Forest. And I've started on this little strange page. And my idea, hence why my little notes is in here, I was quite interested in doing, because obviously it's got loads of these kind of tubes and piping and rust. So I thought, actually, I don't just want to do it brown. So I've kind of done a little bit of, this is how sad I am, really sorry, but I've kind of done a bit of research into interesting rust and corrosion and things that interested me along this line. So as you can see, my little research sheet is quite colourful, and that's kind of what I've been going for in some of this page on the side that I kind of wanted. Although it's got these kind of, I don't know if these are robots or insects or cross between, because the ladybird looks completely normal, but this looks like it's got a big screw in its body. So I'm thinking some of these are man-made rather than nature-made, but the ladybugs look normal, so, and the butterfly looks pretty normal as well. But anyway, I'm talking a lot considering I've only coloured this little tiny bit in. But as you can see, I have layered quite a lot of colours just in this little bit. I'm not going to do all of them multicoloured like this because it's going to take ages as it goes through. But looking through this book, this is the first page that looks kind of steampunky, rusty. And as you go on to the next pages, it starts to get a bit more less steampunky, more just natural looking, like there's still one of those insects with little screws in. Oh, in fact, there's some screws up there as well, isn't there? Now I'm looking, I was thinking it was okay. But this one, I can't see any on the other side that has anything that looks like it's man-made. So I think basically, as I'll start to work through this, it'll go from kind of corroded, rusty, man-made, steampunky, a little bit of both, just nature. And then I think it goes on to dragons and things like that down here. So these are all going to be, yeah, none of this has kind of rusty things on. So I thought it'd be quite an interesting way to try and tackle it. Anyway, it was my idea. How long it'll take me. Hopefully I'll get this one finished by next month so that you can see my millions of colours that I've been using. So far, these are light fast, quite a bit of light fast because they work quite nicely on this paper. And obviously there's some quite strange colours in this mix that I've been using, and some luminance as well. So both of those together really is all I've used on this so far. I've not actually tried wet media on this. I might try and use a bit of metallic paint here and there on this because obviously it would really suit this page as well. But that's as far as I've got at the moment in Pictura's Wayne Anderson's Enchanted Forest. I'm really quite liking these. And that is pretty much where I'm up to. So hope there's been something you're interested in. Let me know your thoughts. It'd be really nice to hear them. Hope you're enjoying your colouring. Bye bye.